Hey, what's going on, everybody? So this is my second video on my new YouTube channel, and thank you for all the views that I've gotten for my first one, for my introduction on New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and yeah, so I'm just gonna hop right into it. I think the biggest thing for me right now with the videos is figuring out timing and length. I don't necessarily want to make anything too long. I know attention spans are short. I know time is valuable for everybody, so I don't want to be making these long drawn out videos initially unless I have something very specific or important I want to talk about. But let's just get right into it. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about the game side of what I'm doing and talking about games that I'm playing right now and games that I'm looking forward to in the future. So right now, the games that I'm playing consistently on a daily basis are Genshin Impact, which is a free to play action RPG kind of video game with like anime style artwork and characters. Um, it is a gacha game, and for those of you who don't know, gacha means you can spend money on it to get things in games like new characters, new weapons, so on and so forth. It's not necessarily a game that I recommend to a super young audience. For instance, like my children, I wouldn't necessarily recommend it, or anybody under kind of the age of really 18, I guess, because the gacha element is very significant and the marketing is very predatory. It's a fun game and I do enjoy it a lot, but I'm older. I understand money. I understand these things, these concepts. Um, but there's videos online and there's stories on social media of kids draining their parents' bank accounts because in like Fortnite or something, trying to spend on whatever the currency is, V Bucks or Roblox Cash or any of the in the video game money currency system that they can get with real world money. So it is something to be concerned about if you were interested. But there is a wealth of content in that game that is free that you don't have to pay a penny for. And right now is a great time to get into it if you're just looking for a game or something to kind of take your time. It is there's a lot to it, but it just it comes with that. It's a double-edged sword type of deal. Another game I'm playing is Call of Duty, the newest one that came out in November, I want to say. Yeah, the Modern Warfare 2 remake, or it's like a remake because there's one in 2019. Um, no, scratch that. Not 2019. That was the first one. Modern Warfare 1 remake. But anyway, so Modern Warfare 2, it's a remake, but it's just a retelling. It's an updated story. It's an updated engine, game engine, and graphics and all that stuff. But I do play that game a lot. I played it a lot more previously, but I said life kind of turns its head on you sometimes, and I've lost a lot of the teammates I played with just due schedules not lining up, work and lives and families and whatever the case may be. So I did have a lot more fun with that game when I did have a squad to play with, but now just being solo, I play it, but it's not as fun. And I'm hey, if you're out there, leave a comment below if you want to play and link up. We can do so. I'm always looking for new teammates or anything. I'm not the greatest at the game. I'm decent. I can hold my own. I'm not anywhere near pro level or anything like that, but there's a game mode in there called Warzone. I'm terrible at that. I have a lot of anxiety with the whole aspect of once you're dead in that game, and like you're dead. Once you're out, you're out, and then you have to start up a whole new game and try again. And it's a bunch of players all on the same map. you eliminate each other till there's one last standing. So, you know, it's a lot of pressure in that game mode. It's not like multiplayer where, oh, you die, you respawn, you die, you respawn. Kind of in the same vein of Call of Duty is I play this game PUBG, player unknown, whatever, battleground. Yeah. Anyway, it's another battle royale game. Like I said, the description of, you know, there's a bunch of players on one single map. You eliminate each other until there's one person left, and that person's the champion. It's different in that it came out beforehand. It was one of the first original battle royale games, kind of like Fortnite and things like that. And that's fun. It's different than Call of Duty in that it's much more realism based, with weapons and recoil of the weapons and bullet drop and bullet physics and things like that. So it is a lot harder. Call of Duty is very much a Rambo run and gun, you know, fast twitch, spazzy shooter. So if you like a more I wouldn't say calm. If you wanted something that was a little bit more slower paced and methodical, then PUBG is probably a game you'd be interested in. The graphics are not nearly as good as Call of Duty, but to a lot of players, graphics is not everything. It's always gameplay first. And I think that's how it should be. If the game isn't fun to play, it doesn't matter if it looks nice. So, yeah. And I actually do play that with one of my friends. So that ends up being a lot more fun for me. There's some games that I'm revisiting, like Cyberpunk 2077. I'm slowly getting back into it. That game released with a very terrible launch and, you know, glitches and bugs and all this stuff. And, you know, I downloaded it to play initially on my PlayStation 5, and it was just riddled with error after error. I couldn't get through, you know, the first hour of the game without massive game-breaking bugs, so I, you know, kind of put it on the back burner. And then this year they released a lot. Well, they've been releasing a lot of patches to fix the game, so it's in a much better state now. And from all the reviews that I've seen online, they said give it a go, revisit it. And on Netflix, there was a short series, animated series called Edgerunners, and with that it show's very good. I didn't finish it yet. My friends referred that to me, but it is very good, and it's like, as in the title of the game, cyberpunk. So it's like a cyberpunky, futuristic, techie, you know, sort of world that they have. So it can be a little jarring if you're not into that already to get into it and learn phrases and language, but it is a very fleshed out world, and it is really cool once you do get into it. And because of the Netflix show and their patches and everything, there's been a resurgence of interest in the game and people getting back into it. So I'm slowly making my way. I might do a couple of videos just to show you guys, you know, some of that stuff. Actually, I'll probably do some videos of me playing the games that I've just talked about, just so you guys can see them firsthand and see if maybe you're interested in them, or, you know, if you're like a lot of people are like, video games are for kids, why do you waste your time? I like them. I'm a grown person, and you know, it's one of those things. Some people like to do, you know, physical stuff outside, like sports, and that's cool. You know, you're not on a professional sports team, so I could say, well, what's the point of doing that, playing a silly game? But if it's something you like, then it's something you like. Some people are into fashion and clothes, and some people are into cars. You know, I don't understand. I do understand the criticism of games and gaming and things like that. You know, it has been painted in quite a negative light, but we can go more into that later in another video. That's a topic for another time. So yeah, I'll probably put up some videos of me playing the games so you can check them out and see if you like them. And I think before the end of this one, let's look at the stuff that's coming up and for 2023, because there's a lot of good games that are coming out this year that I'm looking forward to playing, and I'll be putting up videos of me playing them and my reactions to them as well. So let's go. I had to bring up this list because, as you can see, it's a list, a comprehensive list of the full year. There's going to be more that comes out, and release dates are revealed to us. But this is just a list. I'm gonna only hit on like the big games, not necessarily AAA titles from big studios, but mostly those, because those are just the ones that I'm into and that get the most notoriety. So yeah, let's go. January. For January, let's see if anything stands out to me. So I do have a PlayStation 5. I have a Nintendo Switch. I don't have an Xbox, but I have a PC. So any games kind of on Microsoft, I can play on their streaming service, which is awesome, by the way. I did have it for a little bit, and then I canceled my subscription to focus on other things, but that is always an option for me, and I really enjoy that option. PlayStation, take notice. You got to get better at that. So, one game that I see here is Dead Space, and that's like a space horror game. I'm not into horror games. I don't know why. I guess I do know why people like them the same way they like horror movies. I personally don't like the stress, and sometimes I am a big wuss when it comes to stuff like that. So that's not kind of how I want to spend my time. So yeah, won't be playing that. But I hear that's also a remake with updated graphics and so on and so forth. February. Okay, so let's talk about this. The big one that I'm looking forward to is Hogwarts Legacy. So I'm a big Harry Potter fan. I love the lore. I love the books. I love the movies, all the extra stuff. My wife and I, along with some family members and friends, we went to the Forbidden Forest experience this year, and it's great. I love Harry Potter, and so does she, and so do all my friends. So I'm really looking forward to Hogwarts Legacy. Not sure what platform I'll play it on yet. I might play it on the PC just because it'll be easier for me to stream it, but I might end up getting it for both PC and for PlayStation. It will depend. So, yeah, but it takes place basically, I think they said like 100 or something years before the events of the movies and the books and the movies. So Harry Potter isn't around, and Voldemort isn't around, and so on and so forth. It's just you are a young student at Hogwarts, and you're making your way in the world, and it sounds and looks awesome. But lately, in recent times, these games have been like Cyberpunk, right? It looked awesome, it sounded awesome, all of the concept art and the trailers looked great, and then it came out and it was in a disastrous state. And more games are doing that lately, and it's something to be aware of. Long gone are the days of a game releasing and it's good on day one. A lot of studios these days are making these games, and they're trying to beat a deadline for money. They got to make the sales. The games are costing more to develop, costing more to produce, and they need to be making their returns on their investments. So games come out unfinished, and they have to end up finishing them later on, which stinks for the players. So you don't necessarily need to pre-order stuff. I haven't pre-ordered it yet. I don't know if I will, actually. I might wait on some reviews. It's always good to wait on a review, I think, than to go out and impulse buy something. But that's just my opinion. What else is on here? Yeah, see, there's a lot of games that I'm just I might play, I would play, but for me, like I said, my time is very different as an adult. So the stuff that I do pick and the stuff that I do want to play has to be, it really has to hook me. You know, there has to be some kind of backup level of interest. I can't, it's not that I won't ever, but it is harder for me these days to pick something blind that I don't know anything about and go in and give it a bunch of time. So yeah. Destiny 2 Lightfall. I see that on here. I used to play Destiny 1. I used to play Destiny 2. It's a first-person shooter, MMORPG type thing. I'll skip that. I'm not really. I have enough of those. Day before, Last of Us PC for March. I think that's a remake also. So video games these days are kind of turning into what the movies have been. It's like studios are looking back at old hits that they know, were super successful. And they're like, okay, let's, update the graphics. Let's update the gameplay and the features and the mechanics and then just re-release it. So video games are doing a lot of that lately. Sometimes it works out great because, maybe the technology at the time didn't allow the developer to fully realize their vision. So now being modern times, or I don't know why I said modern, but now being, with more technology, more advancements in technology, better stuff, better engines, they can potentially make the game to their original vision. So sometimes it comes out really good and the remakes are awesome. Sometimes it's just, a little bit better graphics. Maybe you get, higher resolution, but the game is entirely the same. So I'm like, not really understanding that. I don't know if that is the game I'm thinking of. There's another fighting game that's coming out, but I don't think that's it. I think it's like Monkey King or something. Let's see, what else do we got here? Bayonetta, I heard, is really fun for people who play the Switch. I don't play too much on the Switch besides Zelda, so I'll be skipping that. Oh wow, Peppa Pig World Adventures. Just kidding, not gonna play that. Here we go though. Star Wars Jedi Survivor. That looks like it's gonna be something that I'm gonna play. That's just a really well done game. I'll get more into it. I am reaching a certain amount of time that I wanted to not go over. So let's just breeze through the rest of these. April. Oh, so you see Hogwarts Legacy again. So for March, or for February, you see it here, and then it's re-releasing again in April. Now the reason for that is all the current gen systems like the PlayStation 5, the new Xbox, whatever it is, their Xbox Series X, PC. It's going to release on those first. The April release is all of the old gen stuff, so PS4, Xbox One. They're going to take a lot more time to kind of, optimize it for the old systems. So that's why you see it released again, but that it's the same game. It's just one's for current generation systems, one is for last gen, previous gen. Not really seeing anything else. Dead Island 2 could be something, but again, I don't know. I'd have to look into it more, but it's a zombie shooter survival game. May has Legend of Zelda, so I still actually have to go back and finish and beat Breath of the Wild, but Tears of the Kingdom supposedly is the title for the sequel to that. That's going to be awesome. I already know Zelda always releases great games. Some are better than others, obviously, but they're always great games in general. I don't think there's ever been a Legend of Zelda game, in my opinion, or my eyes, that's been a dud. So that's something to look forward to. June is going to be a big month for me. Besides, my anniversary and all of that stuff. But Diablo 4. So Diablo 4 is the next game to come out. I played a ton of Diablo 3. I am playing some of Diablo 2 remastered. It's a ARPG, action RPG, so it's a great game. Again, I don't want to take up too much more time, so I will get back into these later and produce more content, maybe talking specifics. Street Fighter, Classic, Final Fantasy. I used to be into Final Fantasy, but a lot with Final Fantasy is like, it's very Japanese culture, game culture inspired, so sometimes you're into it. Like Genshin Impact, there's a very specific art style to that game, that series of games. There's a very specific storyline and character archetypes. So for me, it's hit or miss. A lot of people love Final Fantasy, and they are great games. They are phenomenal. The production value is, top tier. It's just a matter of taste of genre if you like that or not. Oh well, Hogwarts Legacy for Switch. So this is why I don't play the Switch a lot. The Switch compared to the PC or PlayStation 5, even really PlayStation like 4 and the old gen systems, it just doesn't have the power. Graphics wise, it's old architecture, so yeah, that's probably why it's even taking longer than the one in April. So anyhow, I see nothing for anything for the rest of the year, so that's that. But something that I didn't see on the list, and maybe it's down here with to be announced. Let me see. Final Fantasy. What would it even called? Oh, let's go right to the S's and let's see. Is it on here? Starfield. There we go. So Starfield is made by Bethesda Studios, and it is a action RPG, survival type game. And it's basically, if you know anything about games or you play games, it's essentially Skyrim or Elder Scrolls in space. And that, that's a very simplified, boiled down description of it. But yeah, essentially you are traveling around in space. Something that I did notice when I saw the trailer this year was that it was very reminiscent of No Man's Sky. So, and a lot of people saw that, and a lot of people made comments already like, oh, what is this? Just, a remake of that. So we'll see. But if you want to get an idea of the game, I hate to say it, go look up a video on No Man's Sky. And that's, graphics stylized wise is a little different. But gameplay and, kind of the idea of the game is very much spot on to what you do in No Man's Sky. But that looks to be good. I cannot wait to see that and play that one. That's going to be another one. So anyhow, that's that for the video games, and I will see you guys on the next video. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.